Good evening, observers. I assume you're still watching. Or maybe you're listening, or maybe you're still hoping that this time the truth will fall from my lips like a confession in a padded room, that this voice you've dissected will finally break under the pressure of your stares, your scans, your little no T-books filled with terms you don't even understand. TikTok, 5 years, 1,825 days. That's how long I lived beneath your microscope. No, like a man. No, even like a patient. Like a threat you didn't understand, and so you tried to label it into obedience. I became your case file, your psychological riddle, your failed hypothesis. You pointed your clipboards at me like rifles. Every breath I took, every blink, every still moment where I didn't scream, you marked it down. You asked me why I didn't cry, and then you asked me why I did. You watched me sit still in your white rooms like I was waiting to explode. You hoped I would, because if I did, it would confirm your fear. And if I didn't, it would confirm your confusion. But the truth is far more dangerous than your fear. I saw you. While you were watching me, I was studying you. You were always more afraid than I was. You see, the world doesn't punish monsters. It punishes the misunderstood. It chains them up in therapy sessions and classrooms and hospitals and waiting rooms. And it names them things. Unstable, difficult, emotionally volatile, potential risk to themselves or others. Labels, chains in disguise. But what if I told you I never was unstable? What if I told you I was calculating, quiet, precise? What if the silence wasn't weakness? What if it was control? You people, you worship control, but only when you hold it. The moment I refused to be broken, you called me dangerous. You wanted a monster so badly, didn't you? You sent psychologists to poke me. You sent teachers to shame me, parents to scold me, authorities to monitor me. And each time I didn't rage, each time I didn't beg for approval like a tamed thing, you grew disappointed. You wanted me to snap. You were hoping to see teeth, but instead, all you saw was reflection. And that terrified you, because what you call a monster is just a mirror that doesn't lie. And what you feared was that my silence wasn't emptiness. It was clarity. Yes, I have madness, but no, the kind you understand. No, the kind that trembles and pleads. Mine walks, stands, smiles. Madness was not my sentence. It was my weapon, a lens that made your lies unbearable. And your systems transparent. You call it disorder, but I call it insight. I saw through you, and I laughed. Do you know what it means to sit quietly in the same room every day for 5 years, and still know that give them what they came for? Restraint, know of that. That's real power. You put me under your scope, fluorescent lights, clinical gloves, cold voices, and you examined everything, my past, my thoughts, my family, my dreams. You tore open every drawer in my soul, hoping to find something you could point to and say, there it is, there's the monster. But what did you find? No thing, just a clean soul, bruised, yes, fractured maybe. But no, it infected with the venom you swore lived inside me. I survived your judgment. I outlived your diagnosis. I endured without explanation. You watched me bleed through my eyes and still called it manipulation. You saw me sit through humiliation with a grin and called it defiance. But here's the truth you never wrote down. Pain is no but what broke me. Pain is what burned the illusions off of me. When they reject you in times, when they whisper behind clipboards, when they sit you in chairs like they're waiting for you to twitch. You learn to stop asking for understanding and start building your armor. My armor was forged in silence, my patience in exile, my voice in all the things I never said until now. You think I want revenge? No. Revenge implies I still want something from you. Approval, acknowledgement, an apology. I don't. The best revenge is no die to destroy you. The best revenge is to become so whole, so utterly untouchable that you can't categorize me anymore. I'm nor a threat. I'm no other victim. I'm no your project. I am an answer to a question you were too afraid to ask. You watched. You searched. You feared. You wrote reports. You called meetings. You whispered, as in rooms I wasn't allowed into, and yet you never understood. Because you were never watching me. You were watching your fear, projected onto someone who never flinched. You spent 1,825 days hunting a monster and found a mirror I never broke.